Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Monday, July 27th, and you know what that means. It's time for the High Risk Wrestling Recap. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. You know you can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And without further ado, let's get into the news. So the WWE announced a spattering of events over WrestleMania weekend in New York City. They announced the WWE AAA show Eternal Glory and Stand and Deliver. They will both be going down inside respective theaters in, I believe, Madison Square Garden. And it's very, very simple. They announce these shows because they want to get a jump on whatever AEW is going to do for WrestleMania. They locked in a place and a location. You know what I mean? So they're trying to stop AEW, which is not going to work. AEW is just going to go somewhere else. There is a concern on WWE's part that because WrestleMania is taking place in Saudi Arabia, there is no definitive place for wrestling fans. And the rumor is, word on the street, is that AEW will be putting on a major show in America while WrestleMania is going on in Saudi Arabia. And I'm expecting it to happen. Steve Macklin has had preliminary contact with AEW. I do not expect him. I kind of don't expect him to sign per se. If he does, it's probably going to be with Ring of Honor. That's where his wife Deonna Purrazzo is. That's where she's primarily going to be for, I believe, the majority of her career, and how long she's hired in AEW. And he could actually be a good hand for Ring of Honor. As you all know, Bayley's contract is coming up in a couple of months. She has not re-signed. I don't expect her to re-sign. I expect her to be all elite. But she could force a change in WWE's contract rules, as in getting guaranteed money, guaranteed years, no cut clauses. I mean, if she becomes a free agent, she will be probably, even with all the free agents we have now, she will be the number one most sought after free agent out of everybody, only next to like the New Day. That's about it. J-Rod, one of the top independent wrestlers in the United States, is getting a tryout at the WWE during SummerSlam weekend. She has worked with AEW before. She's worked with NWA. And she's essentially said she's a WWE woman at heart, and I expect that if she does get a contract, she will wholeheartedly accept it. Tay Miller has been granted her release, which is okay. She asked for a release last year and it was denied. You can tell that she right now wants to focus on raising her and Sammy Guevara's daughter. There's nothing wrong with that. We wish Tay Miller the best. Nothing bad. There's nothing bad going down. They left on good terms. She can always come back. Two co-Scorpios assault trial and criminal charges is set. It will be, I have the date here in front of me. It will be going down, I thought I had the date. He pleaded not guilty. The trial has already been delayed multiple times. We just gotta wait and see what goes on. This stems off from an incident that took place June 15th, 2024. If you haven't heard, Busted Open Radio, which has pretty much been WWE propaganda, is now will be rebranded as WWE Radio. This is so funny. It happens a few days after Jim Ross has said pretty much professional wrestling radio has just been WWE, and now here we go. And AEW talent will no longer be a part of WWE Radio, especially Thunder Rosa, who's been a long time contributor to Busted Open Radio. TNA has announced the release of Victoria Crawford. This essentially comes from one Tessa Blanchard, who she was associated with, was gone from the company, and she's in CMLL. And Mila Moore is now a part of Order 4, so it looks like they have nothing for her now. You're running a tournament for your new TV championship, and you need knockouts. Why would you release a knockout? Why would you release a veteran at that? We're starting to reach LOL TNA. territory. AEW has several new names in play after their non-compete clauses have expired. As you know, those Black Friday releases are they're officially free agents and they can be signed. For me personally, I expect the Motor City Machine Guns, Kairi Sane. Those are the major ones out of everybody that got released. I don't expect Zelina and Aleister Black to be signed. I'm actually expecting them to go to TNA, where I think they'll do excellent there. And when it comes to the New Day, their contract is up in about another week or so, and I still expect them to sign with AEW. The Janelle Grant's lawsuit against Vince McMahon has moved to closed doors, and it has been dismissed. It looks like they are settling on a financial solution. It moved into private arbitration where the allegations of defenses continue behind doors. Attorneys for Grant, McMahon, and WWE filed a voluntary dismissal with prejudice on Friday. Grant cannot bring the same claims back to federal court, but all three sides are keeping the right to pursue their cases through arbitration. So it's not done, but we're getting close to somewhere. On the injury side of things, Nikki Bella has been cleared. She went through a grueling return test for her broken ankle. She is back. Alexa Bliss is still out. She will be out and missing SummerSlam. Anna Jay is out with that same shoulder injury. She just got back. You see why she's not on TV, and her contract has also been extended. I'm so happy she's staying with AEW. Adriana Rizzo has made her in-ring return after being away for more than a year. I believe she tore her ACL, so she is officially back. Dragon Lee was pulled from the AAA Verano de Escalando tapings after suffering an injury. And lastly, Zoe Stark has made her official in-ring return after being away for 14 months due to her injury. Remember, she tore her ACL, MCL, and meniscus, but she has made her return at Rev Pro's Women's Grand Prix. That is the news, and we should be right back with the week in review. All right, let's get into the week in review. Monday Night Raw. That's how we start off, ladies and gentlemen. This show gets I guess a fist. We're just kind of spinning in circles here. It's getting ridiculous. Our first match was WWE Tag Team titles. Austin Theory and Braun Breaker putting the belts on the line against the random team of Javon Evans and Dragon Lee. Evans and Lee attacked before the bell. The ref immediately started the match. Evans and Lee really dominated early with their rapid offense, but Theory and Breaker regained control after interference from Maxine. Breaker speared Evans, then speared Lee as Theory held him and get the W. Division attacked him after the match to Otis and Tozawa made the save. Maxine slapped Otis. Breaker speared Otis at ringside. Theory taunted Otis as Maxine watched from the turnbuckle, and the Breaker hit a running rope spear on Otis. I'm assuming, well, actually no, they didn't announce the card. There's no tag team title match. Then we got more crap with the Judgment Day and Danhausen. I don't care. We got a vignette for Big Cass, who will be making his return. He said people don't know how far someone can fall. Redemption is teased, ironically, because AEW Redemption just happened. We got more stuff with the Judgment Day. Danhausen offered to give the money to the fans. Judgment Day interrupted. Joe Hendry made the save. Liv escaped. That was it. JD opened his briefcase. The money was fake. Oba appeared holding the briefcase. So he went the money back. Go face Oba. Of course, Oba beat JD. Done. Dominant. LA Knight hype keys his match versus Jacob Fatu. Solo was here. He has been absolutely hilarious and great, and his personality is really shining through. Solo said the Bloodline would stop Seth at SummerSlam. So he's telling us that Seth and Solo offered to watch Seth's back. Fans boo, but Solo's telling the truth, dog. You know how it is. Seth said he'd think about it, and though Solo didn't like his hesitation, but okay, Jacob arrived, attacked, Seth immediately attacked, and Seth left his fans, sung his theme, fought off Jacob Fatu. Chad Gable and Penta ended up defeating Rusev and Ethan Page. Rusev tapped out after getting hit with the Mexican Destroyer and was applied. No, Ethan Page got hit with the Mexican Destroyer, and Gable locked in the ankle lock. Gable and Penta shook hands after the match. Seth taunted Jacob, saying he couldn't touch him per the tribal chief orders, and Seth mocked Fatu as a bag boy, because that's what he is. Fatu promised to beat Seth after SummerSlam. Paul Heyman did his thing, said Oba is overrated. He's had the best rookie year since Brock, but Brock's going to beat him. Joe Hendry took on Dominic Mysterio. Dom tried his best, but Joe ultimately got the win. Danhausen hit down with a death drop. EO was there as well. Punk and Cody had their confrontation backstage, raised the stakes. LA Knight was in the ring. He said trusting Solo is impossible. He said Roman versus Seth makes him sick. Fans chanted OCT, and Knight said Roman conned them all, because he's right. Roman hasn't changed. Knight said he's everything Roman Reigns wanted to be. And also that Fatu's Mortal Kombat music would hit soon. Of course it hit. Got the match, Jacob versus LA Knight. Keys attacked Jimmy. Jay attacked LA Knight from behind. Fatu hit the mighty moonsault to get the W after the match. Solo attacked Fatu. Jimmy superkicked Solo twice, and Jay speared Solo. They put that man down. Royce made the save, taking out both Usos. Then they hit super kicks and a 1D on Royce, and LA Knight attacked. Fatu applied the Tonga Death Grip, and Jay hit an Uso splash of Knight. The bloodline stood tall. What stood out about this show, ladies and gentlemen? There wasn't a single women's match. Not one. EO played second fiddle because she was riding a damn Zamboni. Really did nothing to hype her match versus Liv, and every single woman's segment that would do anything for storylines was all done during the commercial break. Let that sink in. Dynamite gets a fist. This was the Redemption Go Home show. Ospreay told Omega that they never lose when teaming, and Omega told Ospreay to reach out and touch someone else if he needs a tag. This is all about that trios match for later in the evening. Kevin Knight put the TNT Championship on the line against Darby Allin. Darby attacked Knight before the bell. Ref started the match. Knight targeted Darby's knees and head. Darby, of course, was going to bleed. Darby hit a couple cold reds. Coffin drop on the outside. Rough bump allowed Knight to use the belt to get the W. Hit a coast to coast, followed by the UFO splash. Kyle Fletcher then came out and confronted his Don Callis family teammate. Okada joined in. They all gathered. There's tension between Knight and Fletcher. Knight bragged about breaking Darby and breaking his TNT title defense record, doing it without any help. Fletcher demanded no interference in his title match at Redemption. Knight and Fletcher shoved each other. Okay, we doing a little something here. Then we got Brodido taking off Proto-Okada. Fletcher and Okada worked together early, and Don Callis was on commentary. Brody hot tag nearly hit the Gonzo bomb. Bandido hit a sunset bomb, frog splash for some near falls, and Okada accidentally hit Fletcher with the Rainmaker, along with Bandido to hit the 21 plex on Fletcher to get the W. Brodido wins, lady and gentlemen. Okada kind of apologized after the match, and Fletcher was pissed. Don Callis shot, calming him down. Andrade arrived and celebrated with Brodido. Showed off that Dynamite diamond ring. We got hype for the Painmaker versus the Psycho Killer for Redemption. Solid stuff here. Mick Foley was in the ring interviewing Tech. Well, he was not in the ring. Was he in the ring? No, he was on the ramp interviewing Tekla and Willow. Foley introduced them both. Tekla bragged about being a double champion. Willow said her dream is to win the AEW Women's World Championship. Tekla mocked Willow's positivity and said she's full of poison. Willow said Tekla's just a toxic act as a facade. Willow compared Willow to himself as TBS champion. Tekla then cheap shot at Willow twice. Willow hit the pounce and stood tall. We got a preview for Sheeta versus Maya World at the pay-per-view. Then we had Jay White taking on Clark Connors. This was Jay's first singles match in 15 months. Clark controlled early. White rallied, and he blocked a spear, applied the inverted triangle choke, and Connors tapped out. After the match, Connors attacked, but Jay hit him with the Blade Runner. Finley then dropped him with a shillelagh. The Bang Bang Gang chased the dogs off, and they challenged him to a double chain match at Redemption. We were backstage with Coping Cage, and Claudio and Pac attacked them. Death Riders attacked the champs, stood over them. Pac said they know what Death Riders are capable of. This is all sight for the tag team title match at Redemption. The Divine Dominion put the Women's Tag Team Championship on the line against the Sisters of Sin. This was a no disqualification match, and this was just a wild brawl. And you would think that the Sisters of Sin have the advantage here because Sky and Julia are two of the hardcore women in the division, and it really did give them an XP boost. Blue set up a top rope moving Bane chokeslammer through a table. Julia applied the octopus hold, but Bane countered the tombstone. Divine Domain ended up hitting that double chokeslam to get to the W. Yeah, there you go. That's like, who's going to defeat the Divine Domain is probably going to be the Brawling Birds. Our main event was Kenny, Ospreay, and Mox teaming up to take on Brian Cage, Hatashell, and Jake Doyle. This was a great trios match. They worked together early. There was some tension between Omega and Mox. Cage and Hatashell hit a combo of strikes for a near fall. Mox shook off Hatashell off the top rope. Omega and Ospreay hit a V-trick hit and blade combo, and Omega pinned Hatashell to get the W. After the match, Mox shoved Omega over an accidental knee, and Omega shoved him back. Ospreay intervened. The Yucks attacked Mox and Ospreay. Omega cleared the ring. Trent and Rocky attacked Omega. Knight hit Omega with the TNT title. Out of nowhere, held up the belts to end the show. So fun. It was a fine match. Over on Impact, Nick Nemeth submits himself. This show gets a fist, ladies and gentlemen. So we open up with our first match is Moose and Elijah taking on AJ Francis and Cass, who was accompanied by Expressions. Expression interfered to shift the momentum. Elijah dropped Frankie with the knee strike, and Moose hit the hot tag over the top rope onto AJ. Frankie scored the near fall, but Expression shook the ropes as Elijah walked him. AJ pinned Elijah. After the match, Expressions removed his neck brace, tried to hit Elijah with the guitar. Moose stopped him with the headbutt. Elijah got hit with a tombstone, and AJ Francis ran up the stage. We were backstage with the Order 4. And Ali hyped the roster, voting for the international title number one contender. Said 1 vote per wrestler, cannot vote for themselves. Mila Moore held the belt as she's the newest member of Order 4. Wendy Chu took on Elena Black in the Knockouts TV title tournament. Chu was representing NXT. She crowed control early. Black regrouped outside, and she rammed Chu into the apron, scoring a near fall, but Chu rallied with a clothesline neckbreaker DDT, all in succession. Black hit a DDT and Chu hit the suplex, but time limit expired. Both are eliminated. I did not see this coming. I thought the finals was going to be Mara Sade versus Elena Black. With both of them being eliminated, I think the title is going to be put on Indy Hartwell. Zaya Brooks out attacked both competitors. Black and Chu ended up shaking hands, and the bracket was updated. Order 4, Ballot Box, Rosemary, Ali's, Rich Swann, Ryan Newman, Cedric Alexander all casted their votes. Skylar guarded the Ballot Box. Mila praised Skylar's work. In the ring with the system, Alicia said fans love Flavor of the Month until reality hits. Bear bragged about decimating Ricky Sosa, called himself a killer. Rip Myers said they are the gatekeepers of TNA. Listen, they're running the show, and he said they decided who belongs and hyped Alicia versus Jada. I think it's Jada Story, I believe, or Jada Moore, or Jada Stone. I can't remember her name. Ricky Sosa interrupted, said he wasn't staying down. Leon Slater joined them, and they challenged the system to a match. Eddie said the match will happen next week. Jason Hodge was declared the winner of the vote. Ali said it was a rib, and they needed a real contender. Hodge looked confused. Order 4 reacted in tension. Listen, Hodge has been a singles man before. We got the injury report featuring Elena Black, Moose, and Nick Nemeth. We had Matt and Jeff Hardy take on the Righteous in the Righteous Deletion. This was a cinematic match. This was solid, you know what I mean? A lot of moving parts here. The Righteous arrived at the Hardy compound. It started in the daytime. They brawled, transported to the ring. Matt hit a twist of fate. Dutch hit the boss man slam, and then we shifted from daytime to night. Dutch chased Matt. Matt cuttered him into the pool. The lake of reincarnation, ladies and gentlemen. Hardy's and the Righteous sat together reminiscing. Vincent appeared in the casket. Hardy kids attacked Dutch. Willow then appeared. Not Willow Nightingale, but Jeff Hardy's alter ego, Willow. He attacked Dutch underwater. We got fireworks, all that jazz. The Hardys win with the Swanson Bomb. There you go. And Hardys declare the Righteous deleted. Threw the Righteous into the lake of reincarnation to cleanse them, and said, Matt said we are forever. Jeff said, and then some. Looks like this feud is officially over. Leon Slater encouraged Hash to take the title shot. Hash took a phone call at outside management office, and he looked conflicted while Leon Slater hyped him up. Jada Stone took on Alicia Edwards in the TV title tournament. Alicia controlled early. Jada hit a dive on Edwards. Jada hit a also split leg moonsault. Alicia hit her finishers, but Eddie ended up tripping up Jada, but Jada reversed into the cradle, got the W. She advances. Alicia attacked Jada after the match, who fought back, and Alicia fled with Eddie. Casey and Navarro and Nick Neiman walked towards the ring for the main event. Order 4, Ali was angry that Hotch didn't give up the match, and Hotch said his wife reminded him of his journey. Hotch said he wanted to bring family to the top. Hotch said he'll see Ali next week, and Ali was pissed. Nick Neiman to put the TNA World Championship on the line against Casey Navarro, who hit some early flurry offense, scored multiple near falls. Nick targeted Casey's knee, so it allowed him to gain control. Casey hit a dive and a frog splash for a near fall powerbomb famous, where he was going at it, but Nemeth kicked out of all of that hit. Casey hit a cold red, but Nemeth followed that up quickly with the danger zone, retaining the championship. Nick Nemeth submits himself. What's next for Casey Navarro over on SmackDown? This show gets a thumbs down. SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, is just a bad show, and it's time to start saying that. Joe Tessitore opened the show. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Gunther said Nick Aldis never made it and is jealous of him. Aldis said Gunther didn't want this fight and now risks his own career. Sami Zayn barged into Kathy Kelly's segment, furious about losing his title or something. He was right. He has a right to be pissed. He said Punk is a corporate poster boy number 2, and man, they've been once wanted Punk versus Cody, and that's exactly what they got. He was doing this to Adam Pearce. Sammy's not wrong. He's been getting screwed over left and right. Pearce says Sammy can earn his way back to the title shot after with the Fatal 4-Way qualifier. And Sammy's like, so hold on. So I got to earn my way, whereas Punk just came in and get the title shot. He's exactly right. But he will face the winner of the Fatal 4-Way number 1 contenders match at Survivor Series. Brie Bella took on Lainey Reed one-on-one match. Reed attacked early, but Brie countered to regain control. Finally, Henley also interfered, by Paige neutralized JC Jane. Brie leveraged Reed's shoulders to get the W. Brie Bella has a singles win against a young up-and-coming talent. Nikki Bella made her a surprise return, hit the rack attack on JC Jane. We gonna get a 6-woman tag match at SummerSlam, because why not just have the tag titles on the line against the Bella Twins like you wanted, and have JC Jane be in the goddamn ladder match and have Paige take on Tiffany Stratton for the US title? You know, that could just make perfect sense. Finn Balor said he's clawing back to SummerSlam, going to go for that World Championship. Gunther interrupted that he's next in line regardless of who the champion is. Solo said they'd win in front of a family in Oakland, and Keith said he was focused on tonight. Knight warned Keith to watch the bloodline at all times, and Solo said he had their backs and echoed Knight's catchphrase. This was hilarious. Solo is getting really good at this stuff. Tiffany and Chelsea Green hyped each other up. Chelsea took on Kiana James, SummerSlam ladder match qualifier. Chelsea won with the unprettier, and now we see how Kiana has fallen, but they're not doing anything with Julia either. We were backstage with Waipa Up, stupid ass name. Truth thought the tag title match was tonight. Priest was like, nah. Truth asked Priest if he was frazzled over the hot dog. Truth is just being Truth. Cody came in and Priest said, listen, me and the boys are sick of the same faces at the top of the card, getting whatever they want, whenever they want. And the crowd cheered this, and Priest said, no matter what happens, I'm coming for you, I'm coming for Punk. And Cody wished them luck. We were in the ring, and Cody and Punk had words with each other, kind of shots at each other. They're both corporate stooges. What else there's to say? If you've seen one promo from them both, you've seen them all. Charlotte Flair said Jade would pay for injuring Alexa Bliss, and said Jade can come after her, but will pay for targeting her best friend. We got Nia versus Charlotte, SummerSlam ladder match qualifier. Charlotte had early offense until Jade and the baddies came out. Charlotte fought them off, but Jade attacked Charlotte, giving Charlotte the DQ win. Nia got screwed. Again, that is back-to-back weeks. Nia gets screwed. Jade hit Charlotte with the Jaded. Knox. Nia destroyed the announce table because she, 2 weeks in a row, got screwed. Main event was the Fatal 4-Way match, number 1 qualifier, to face Sami Zayn at SummerSlam. The winner gets the WWE Championship match. Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Trick Williams, and Royce Keys. Why is Trick Williams in this match? He's the United States Champion. He should be putting the title, whatever. Finn Started early, Keys spinebuster everybody. Ultimately, Finn hit the sling blade, dropkick coup de grace on Damian Priest to become the number 1 contender. He earns this match versus Sami Zayn. Sami and Candice watched backstage, and Johnny Gargano was just doing Johnny Gargano. Balor celebrated as chaos continued at ringside. Over on Collision, this was the Redemption Go Home show. This show gets a fist. Opening contest was Ciampa defeating Zack. Wentz flying match, singles match. It was there to hype up Ciampa, get him ready for redemption. He told the camera that he's better than Jericho, and he mocked Jericho about putting on his own painmaker makeup. We were backstage with Speedball, said he'll win that ladder match, become the number 1 contender. Next match was the Young Bucks taking on the Death Riders team of Yuta and Garcia. Mox was at ringside on commentary. It's a fine match because everybody in this ring is good, but the Bucks won with the Meltzer driver. After the match, the Bucks confronted Moxley, who was ringside, obviously, at commentary, until Ospreay out of nowhere blindsided Nick with the hidden blade, and Mox dropped Matt with the paradigm shift. Ospreay looked conflicted. Okay. We got footage from Comic-Con. That's kind of a mini brawl erupted between Brody, King, Bandido, and Kyle Fletcher. Good stuff for Stephanie. Made a return to AEW, took on independent talent Angelica Risk, who's really good, but this was all about Persephone, who won with the Razor's Edge. We were backstage with the MIT, and Athena said the Brawling Birds have been dodging them. Diamante said she has a bullet for the 2 birds, and Billy confused the idiom. Athena corrected her. Athena said the MIT is ready to whoop that ass. Okay, so we're going to start with the MIT taking on the Brawling Birds, and a little mini feud getting the Brawling Birds ready for Divine Demand. The Lethal Twist took on Team Skyflight, Matt Sydal, Scorpio Sky, and Dante Martin. Where was there? I hope Darius Martin's not hurt. And this was good. The Lethal Twist isolated Scorpio, so they rallied. Ricochet distracted Dante at ringside. Lethal Twist hit the double team DVD stomp, and Shotty Lee Johnson pinned Dante Martin. The Lethal Twist got a W. I am shocked. Nick Wayne took on AR Fox. This was a qualifier for the ladder match at Redemption. Wayne attacked Fox before the bell. These two have history going back to their days with Swerve, to their days up in Seattle. But Fox had his creative offense because he's really good. But Wayne countered with suplexes, hit the slice bread, followed by the Prodigy Plex to get the W. We were backstage with Darby, who lamented not taking Knight's head off, and said he'll ask Knight how far he's willing to go. I guess he's not stopping. He's coming for that TNT Championship. The conglomeration put the Trios titles on the line against the Ring of Honor Trios champions, the Outrunners, and Dalton Castle. Listen, the conglomeration was always going to win. This was just a really, really fun match, respectful from both teams. It was funny. It was good. This is like one of the matches that we were waiting for all year. The conglomeration won. It's finally simple. They both shook hands at the match, because they're boys, they're friends. But the Lethal Twist and the Demand attacked all of them until Ricochet got knocked out by Jeff Jarrett with the guitar. Jack Perry said opportunities fall from the sky, and he takes them. That was a shot at CM Punk. Wayne said Perry always gets chances handed to him, and Wayne said he'll hurt Perry in the ladder match. Perry mocked Wayne for losing his sugar daddy, i.e. Christian Cage. El Clone took on Leo Rush. This is also a redemption qualifier. I'm happy to have El Clone back on TV. El Clone shockingly won this match. This was a solid match. I could really see them having a solid feud. But El Clone used the ropes for the pin. El Clone attacked Leo after the match. Speedball made the save. Commander hit a springboard moonsault on Clone, and we got the field beating up on each other. We got a video hype for Omega versus Kevin Knight. We got a more hype for Jay White and the Dogs. And our main event was Maya World and Willow Nightingale taking on Hikaru Shida and Tekla. These are obviously the challengers versus the champions. Solid match here, ladies and gentlemen. Shida and Tekla hit simultaneous suplexes on the outside. Willow and Maya really rallied, tried their best. Maya hit the Cardoza stomp, and Tekla just ended up spearing her after getting hit with the kendo stick, and they win. Shida and Tekla win. Post with the championships. That's how you do it. We got the hype for their championship matches at Redemption, and Collision goes off of the air. As for the matches of the week, ladies and gentlemen, and we have a lot, ladies and gentlemen. We have from New Japan Pro Wrestling, we've got a couple of matches from the G1 Climax. That's the 36 one. So we from day 5, Callum Newman versus Zack Sabre Jr. From day 3, Konosuke Takeshita versus Oleg Boltin. Yuto-Ice versus Ryohei Uwe. Yota Tsuji versus Shingo Takagi. And from day 7, Gabe Kid versus Zack Sabre Jr. From Dynamite. We got Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin with the TNT Championship on the line. And also Brodido versus Okada. From Redemption, Kyle Fletcher versus Bandido for the International Championship, and Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight for the AEW Men's World Championship. From Stardom, they have their 5-star Grand Prix going on right now. From day 3, Maika versus Azumi. From day 5, Azusa Inaba versus Seira, and Utami Hayashishita versus Lida. Just great tournaments going on right now. Our stars of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man, boy. We got 3 of them things. Andrade, Maya World, Willow Nightingale. What more do I need to say? All becoming champions after yesterday. But that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look at the screen what we got coming up. You can check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube _Charismatic Creations 52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And as always, I will see you when I see you. Come back this Saturday for the High Road Wrestling Podcast. Oh no, it's Friday for the High Road Wrestling Podcast as we preview Summer Slam. See you when I see you. Peace.